You're listening to All Country News.
Anyway, George Strait, loved him for a long time. I always thought he looked cool in a cowboy hat and holding a guitar, and he recorded some damn fine songs that made me feel things even as a young child. So that was the first song I ever asked to learn how to play from my guitar teacher when I took my first lesson at 5 years old. I said Amarillo by Morning was the first song I wanted to learn. So that's not much of a sleeper. But that was just the first thing that jumped out to me. So she said, that's a nice thought. Maybe we can start with Jesus Loves Me and we'll work our way up to that. So that was kind of funny. But anyways, uh, if I had a sleeper, he I'm trying to remember which record it was. It was the later thing. I want to say it was the I Got a Car. Uh, that wasn't the title of it, but you know which one I'm talking
I
about, though.
got a car, dude. I'm not a singer.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
yeah,
sing.
no,
Tell me what
that
you're
sounded
talking about.
perfect. That sounded perfect. Love is Everything is the title of the record. He's got a song on there called "Sitting on the Fence" that I think is phenomenal and was just, a sleeper album track.
I love it. So our fans are also very excited about the new addition that you have to your brand, your mustache. So I
Oh
know
yeah,
it's very on brand right now, but we are looking at your baby-faced Opry debut photos, and
yeah,
now you got this stash. So is the
yeah,
stash staying? People were concerned
yeah.
that you were going to get rid of the stash.
No, stash is here to stay. I've been trying to. I had a stash while before I did that Opry photo that I struggled with it for a lot of years. It still don't look great. I have them doctor it so much in the photos. When you actually get to meet me and come up close to my face, you'll ask, "Oh God, it looks really patchy and thin. It doesn't look that way in the pictures." Pardon me. But anyways, no, stash is here to stay. I've just been working on it as long as I've been able to grow hair on my face, which is not much. Um, that it finally, like in the last year and a half, I guess, it's been here steady.
I like it. I like it. No, I think it's very
Yeah.
on brand. But
Before that, it kept on. I'd grow it out a little bit, and
yeah,
then it just looked bad, and then
start
I'd
to
shave it
curl
back
up a
off.
little. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't stick with it. Finally got good enough, acceptable enough that I'll stick with it from now on. I don't think it's going anywhere.
I love it. So, you were just at the NFR. I was just at the NFR. I'm
Oh, you were.
a tad bummed that we missed each other, but
I'm
uh,
telling you.
people want to know how to choose a good cowboy hat. I got my Stetson sitting right next to
There
me
you
right
go.
here. But for people that don't know, how do you go about choosing a good cowboy hat?
Well, I don't know much about it. Obviously you've got your different qualities of uh fur or animal that you're getting it from. This is a beaver hat,
Mhm.
and like your lowest level is going to be a wool hat.
Yeah.
Those they can look good. The challenge with those is they start to break down. They get a little floppy to where they won't hold a shape
Yeah.
all that well. That's the biggest thing to me is something that'll hold a shape. And when you get a higher quality hat, you can reshape it.
Yeah.
Like so this thing will get, it gets beat up a little bit, over the course of a year, over the felt season before I switch to straw for the summer. It'll get a little beat up and then I'll set it in a box and it'll sit there till I get it back out in the fall again. And when you get it back out, it's lost a little of its luster. You need to clean it up. You need to reshape it. Cheaper hats, you can't. The more you reshape them, the more they're just going to lose a little of their stiffness and be able to hold that shape. So that's kind of that's my biggest thing. Outside of that, it's just kind of. I mean, what color you want?
Love it. I love
I'd
it. I
like
know. I
to.
spent
Yeah,
way too much money at Cowboy Christmas. So Merry
yeah,
Christmas to me. Um,
yeah. That's good.
but I also love your hometown. I looked it up. I feel like Sunnyside, Washington sounds like the most idyllic place to grow up. So how do you feel like
They've got
growing
you
up?
fooled.
Really?
It's it's a good name for it. No, it was a good hometown. I I love growing up there. I've only fond memories, but it is kind of I don't think it's all that appealing of a town. It's in the Yakima Valley down there. It's just a dairy farm town. It smells like silage and cow manure and which
So
if
it's
you're
like a
into that
cover
thing,
up.
I'm into that thing.
Yeah, the name's just a cover up then.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
But
I mean, Yeah.
I love that. But I know that you grew up, ranching and doing all that stuff. How do you feel like that has really helped you to cultivate, where you're coming at from your career and the kind of sound that you're putting behind your music?
Yeah, yeah. So I would start by saying growing up ranching is a little bit of a stretch on that. I did grow up on a farm. I've been on the back of a horse many, many times, and every now and then I can catch a head on a steer. I would not call myself a cowboy by any stretch of the imagination. I did buy my hat before I got to Nashville, so
Okay, then
there's
that counts.
we have a small degree of authenticity, but no, we grew up around animals and stuff, and me and my sister we tried to break these little colts when we were about 7 years old or something. So, we were running around buckarooing a little bit, and I'm surprised we didn't get hurt worse than we did. But I do think that growing up in that way of life, it goes hand in hand with country music. It's because it's kind of I think there's an interesting thing about the if you want to call it like the cowboy way of life. It to everyone outside of it, it looks, to steal a word from you, idyllic. It looks like you're riding on a ridge in the sunset and gathering cows. There's a lot of it that's pretty ugly and that you don't, that's not very fun. And I think there's something about country music that speaks to that sort of a thing. I think a lot of music is party music. Uh, well, and not I'm not I won't talk negative about anything else. I would say that country music, I think something that makes country music special to me is how it does spend a lot of time talking about real things, real life stuff that's not all that fun. Obviously, we got our fair share of hold your beer in there and
Yep.
holler along and dance on a Friday night. We need that because people want that. But it also country music can meet you wherever you're at. It don't matter how low or how dark it gets. There's a song for you that speaks to you. And so I feel like there's I don't know, those two things kind of go hand in hand a little bit to me where it's kind of like it ain't all sunshine and roses here. We got our good times and there's the things to love about it and whatnot. But also it's there for you when you just need to be real too.
Yeah. I
I
know
don't
that
know.
was
I think that
me
was a
at
rambling answer, but
no,
hopefully
hey,
it made
I'm
some
all about
sense.
it. I'm all about it. When I was 5 years old, I was singing Cold Day in July and had no idea what the hell I
Yeah,
was talking
there
about.
you
So,
go.
I'm there. But
Exactly.
when I was that age, my mom was forcing me to go to piano lessons and swim team, but you were in a bluegrass band with your
Oh,
siblings?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay.
my mom was forcing me to go to piano lessons too. Um, the the guitar lessons, she didn't have to fight me on. The piano lessons, I kicked and screamed the whole way, for whatever reason. I wish I would have applied myself now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes, I got a little brother and two older sisters. We had a little family bluegrass band, ran around to all the open mics and Grange halls that dad could get us signed up at. I think we played our first show when I was 7, I believe. We opened up for there was a Patsy Cline musical they did at Sunnyside High School, and I believe we went down there and we played our little 30 minutes or whatever it was. Uh, a good family friend of ours was the one that asked us to do the show, and it's so funny. He loves telling this story. He called my dad and he said, "Hey, John, I know the kid's been playing some music. Would they have any interest in opening this show?" And dad said, "Well, Randy, you're going to have to ask them. I can't answer for them." And so he put me on the phone and I said, "Yeah, we'd love to do the show. When is it?" He said, "Oh, it's a couple months from now." And I said, "Oh, that's great. By then we're going to know some songs." And so the rest is history. We learned some songs and we've been playing shows ever
Oh my
since.
gosh, I love it. When was the moment for you, I guess you can kind of say a catalyst that you realized this was more than just something fun you could do with your siblings and learn some songs and play at your local high
Yeah,
school?
yeah.
Was there a moment for you where you're like, "Oh, wow, like, maybe I can actually do this for the rest of my life?"
Yeah. I think, like, I've known forever, like, I feel like this is what I was born to do, and I wouldn't rather be doing anything else, but like you said, like, I think for a long time, it was a bit of a pipe dream thing that was like, "Yeah, someday I'll move to Nashville. Someday I'll do it for a living, we'll see, it'll work out." And I think it was 20 end of 2018, beginning of 2019, a fellow named Daryl Singletary, passed away, if you remember him. I thought he was a phenomenal singer, was a big fan of him. I put up a video of, his song "Spilled Whiskey," the day that he died, and that thing kind of took off for me a little bit. Uh, and I got contacted by a fellow named Carson Chamberlain, who's my producer and my songwriting partner on, among thirds as well, but on all these songs that we've been putting out. And he was kind of uh, the first guy to come along that really meant something to me. That was like, oh gosh, no, like this could really be for real. If this guy thinks he might want to work with me, then maybe we got something going here. So that was 2019. I had recently dropped out of college, and at the time I was just working construction, wanting to save money to move to Nashville. But didn't have any direction, didn't know how I was going to do that or what the hell I was going to do when I got there. It was all just uh, flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. And when he came along, that was finally like, oh dang, now we got something. For one thing is I told my folks that summer before I was quitting school, which obviously they were thrilled about. They thought that was a really wise decision. And yeah, you should go be a musician for a living. That'll be smart.
Yeah.
But then like him coming along and it's like, no, look, this is the guy that like, and here's all the things here's all the number one songs he's a co-writer on. Here's the hit records he's produced. Like, this guy wants to work with me. And, because I think they knew I was good. It's not, uh, I don't think they were oblivious to that, but still just kind of like a old school mentality of like, yeah, but you're not going to play music for a living. Go get a real job.
Yeah.
And then, him coming along, I legitimized it to me, legitimized it to my family, kind of made it feel like, oh gosh, maybe we could actually do
It
this.
sounds like the Bill Engvall, "There's your sign" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That type of thing. Exactly.
So you moved to Nashville, in 2021.
Hmm.
Fast forward a little bit.
Yep.
Now, next year is gonna be hella busy for you, but before
Yes,
we
ma'am.
dive into that, you got a seal of approval from Mr. Luke Combs. How did that feel? I mean,
That's
"There's
what they
the
tell me.
Sun" is one of my favorite songs of this past year, you know what I mean? It's
Thank you.
so classic, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then I'm
Thank
like,
you so
"Oh,
much.
we can do the whole legitimacy thing." I'm like, "He has a hat." I don't know if that was pre-Nashville
I
or
got
post-Nashville.
yeah, exactly.
Now we have learned that it was pre. But, talk to me about the decision to put that song out. I mean, it blew up on social media, and then kinda
Thank you.
getting a seal of approval from another guy that kinda has humble roots and did it in a similar
Yeah.
way you did.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. That was the first I tell this story and I stretch the truth a little bit. When I introduced this song on stage, I say it this was the first and last song I ever wrote on Zoom
Yeah.
when they, made us shut down or whatever for the pandemic. They said we weren't supposed to be getting together and writing uh together or whatnot. But we were still doing it. So go ahead and lock me up if you want to. But anyway, there was at one point we had a bad snowstorm and I couldn't get to town and had a write schedule that day. So I had to learn what Zoom was and what the internet was and what computers was and all that good stuff. So we wrote a song on Zoom. It was terrible. It's a miserable thing to write on just because the latency, the delay or whatever, it's you can't feed off each other, you can't play along with one another. It's a lot of email and lyric ideas back and forth to each other and kind of, now wait, what was that? I missed that fourth word in there. And it's goofy. It's not a good way to write songs. But anyway, somehow stumbled on this thing, wrote it with Wyatt McCubbin and Carson Chamberlain. Um, and we knew as soon as we were done with it that it was something kind of special. And knew that that was going to be, we hadn't recorded any stuff yet, but knew the first time we were going to go in to record, that was, right there at the top of the list, one of the first things we were going to do. So I've been excited about this song ever since we wrote it. And it uh, feels like one of those kind of generational type of love songs to me, and not trying to toot my own horn or something, but just somehow stumbled on something that just feels like it'll stand the test of time. That sort of, Mark Will's "Wish You Were Here" type of thing, or you know, big old big old power love ballad type of thing. So I've been excited about this song ever since it was birthed, I guess you could say, and I still love playing it every night on shows, and really thankful that other people feel like they've connected with it. It's so fun seeing all the stories. People send me they use it in their wedding, and they used it as their first dance, or put it to their wedding video, or whatever it is. I love seeing that stuff, and it means a lot to me that folks connect with that song and love it enough to use it, for a special day like that, and to kind of have as a bit of a symbolic, thing in their relationship or something. I think it's really cool.
I love that. And I was going to bring that up. This is what my cousins are using next
I
summer.
love it.
So they're like
Oh, that's
super
killer.
jazzed about it.
That's
But
awesome. Well, tell them thank you for me.
I will. You also don't strike me as a numbers guy, that you don't really care about the numbers. It's a bonus for you.
Yeah.
But have the numbers surprised you? Just your streaming numbers, your TikTok numbers. TikTok wasn't even a thing
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, so that's
Yeah.
wild
Yeah.
to even bring up. But what has surprised you the most about the fan response? I know you touched on people are using stuff for their special days, so I'm sure
Yeah.
that's an honor. But
Yeah.
beyond that, has anything else kind of stood out to you about fan response?
It's funny that you bring that up. I am not a big numbers guy. I think that's like Nashville got off track, I think, and country music did for a while, to where it just like we got too focused on like how commercial it was, and how like if this is working, then we all need to be doing that, and the music gets homogenized and it kind of gets watered down a little bit, in my experience, in my opinion. And so I think it's fun that you're getting some kind of wild card different things coming in, like with Zach Bryan or Tyler Childers alongside stuff like Morgan Wallen and stuff, that's just like, okay, we got some variety back in, a little spice of life coming back. And um and I hope there's, a place for me somewhere up there with them top dogs at some point. But I think it's all about soul to me. It's good songs that make you feel something, and the music obviously needs to be commercially appealing. It needs to sound good and whatnot. But um, I think it is interesting. I've never been all that worried about that, but obviously, at some point, you need to see some type of numbers, to make it worth keeping on doing. I can't go play shows for empty rooms every night.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't matter how much soul I feel in my songs. So, you need people to be connecting with it. I do think I love that old Luke Combs song, I'd still be doing this if I wasn't doing this. I feel I connect with that a lot, where it's like I couldn't do anything else, I don't think. So I'm lucky folks are listening and they seem to enjoy it. If not, maybe I would just be playing to a dark, empty room. But no, but it really, I'm really grateful that people have been connecting with it. With all the music. It's funny, Bad Luck was a surprise one to me. I always thought There's the Sun would be a big old smash hit. And Bad Luck, when we recorded that to me felt like a song that was like, I think this is going to be like my favorite song on the record. And it's going to be kind of a sleeper that other people don't pay a ton of attention to. And it's funny seeing how much that one has just blown up. That's, when we play live shows and stuff, that's the biggest pop we get in the show is for that one. And so that's fun. I I guess it's interesting. It feels a little daunting putting that type of stuff out. Obviously, my songs are not sonically similar to a lot of what is hot right now, and so you gotta throw it out there, and you hope and you wonder. And I feel very thankful that people have, Morgan Wallen fans or Bailey Zimmerman fans or whoever it is also hear Zach Top, and it's like, oh yeah, I can dig that too. And so it's been really gratifying, and very thankful for how many people are listening to the music. It blows my mind that you can look at your little Spotify for artists thing or something on your phone, and it's like 200 people are listening to my songs right now. No
Yep.
kidding. That's kind of wild,
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah,
So
I definitely feel like the pendulum swings though. You know what I mean? I'm a
yes,
little bit older
100%.
than you, and the stuff that you're putting out, I feel like the whole reason is that it's doing so well is it's nostalgic for old meemaws like me, and it's new for some kids that kind of grew up in that era where everything was a little bit overproduced. But
100%.
I also want to talk to you that you are no longer going to be playing dark rooms of empty people. You are going to be hella busy next year. But my main
Yes, ma'am.
question is Lainey Wilson for this tour, it has all of these crazy outfits and bell bottoms and signature stuff. What signature outfits do you plan on bringing on tour?
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna be talking about Lainey Wilson once they start seeing my outfits. They're gonna forget about bell bottom country or whatever kind of, you know. And I got my own booty to bring along too. I know people talk about that some, and I, I will not be upstaged by Miss Lainey Wilson. Um, no, I'm kidding.
That's like the best answer I think I've ever gotten. But you talk to me about being on these tours. I mean, I know you
Yeah,
got a couple of dates with my guys, brothers Osborne.
yeah,
playing every festival under the sun, and you're
Yeah.
doing Laney. I mean,
Yeah.
what a huge year for you. What are you
Yes.
most excited about? I feel like this is such a great opportunity for you just to kind of throw darts at the wall and see what
Yeah.
sticks and really do you. So chat with me a little bit about what you're excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't be more excited to get on with the, it would be cool to be on any big tour. But as far as Lainey goes, like I really do, I respect her so much, just as an artist and as a person, just being a genuine, real gal and super freaking talented and awesome entertainer. So I couldn't think of anybody that I'd rather be going out on tour with at this point, as far as people that's up there top dogs right now. So really thankful for that. Glad that she took a little shine to my music and excited to be getting to know uh easy for you to say, getting to know her better and developing that relationship a little bit. Hopefully we can get some duets coming or some
Yeah.
songwrites or whatever, hopefully something that the fans will appreciate. But anyways, I obviously it'll be fun to be playing to bigger rooms. That's exciting. But I do think that probably the thing I'm most excited about it's as far as artists out there right now, I think she, might be my very favorite. That's there. So I think it'll be cool it's gonna be a fun lineup. A really country lineup, which is going to be cool. I like being attached to that. Great tour name. Everything about her. She's an artist where she has the whole image, the branding, the marketing of it, and the music and the talent also is obviously there too. So I'm a huge fan of her. I'll try and act cool around her, I guess. But I
I
am a
know I
big
took
fan.
my dad to meet her and my dad about pooped
There
his
you go.
pants.
Yeah.
But I know you have also teased some new tunes. I also
Yes,
wanted to
ma'am.
comment that my comment on that post has the highest number of likes. I said,
Which
Sam,
one was it?
so you teased it's your little jukebox, little radio
Oh
thing.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I commented, Santa must have already read my Christmas list. And it
Oh
had
yeah, yeah. I
the
remember. I
most
saw
likes
that.
on there. That was me.
I love it. That's killer.
So,
I love it.
without getting in trouble, what are you excited about? Clearly, we got some new original music from you next year. So
Yep.
without, like I said, without getting
Yeah.
yourself in trouble, what can you tell us about new music next year?
Oh yeah. They can't get me in trouble. I'm the one that gets people in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking at my the head of my label over there outside the window. She scares me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't actually say that if she could hear me. I'm just kidding. There she's looking at me. I think they can hear me actually. Dang it. No, we got single coming January 8th. Very excited about that. Oh, sounds like the radio. Excited to get on country radio. That's very important to me and yeah, just I think that's gonna be amazing. It's one thing to kind of it's it's something different to kind of get your music past the gatekeepers, when you can always throw it out on Spotify and it's amazing that people have connected with it and as many people have listened to it as have already. And then when you get to country radio, you gotta, jump through a whole bunch more hoops and a lot of people need to believe in you to make that happen. So that's a very exciting thing for me. It feels like another little kind of stamp of approval that's coming along. So that'll be very, very exciting. And then we'll have a full length record, 12 tracks coming. I believe it's the month of April. We don't have a date actually set on that, but that'll be coming. We'll get some kind of album release party or show or something going around that and got lots of fun. And that won't be the last music coming out for us for the year. I'll say that.
Well, thank you. Like I said, Santa has now already answered all of my questions. So thank
Beautiful.
you.
Check the rest of them off your list, huh?
Yeah, right. Well,
Perfect.
thank you so much. We are so excited to see you on tour with Lainey next year. We're really looking forward to that. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure
Awesome.
talking to you.
Awesome. We'll chat with you soon. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.
You're